So still no first-team reps for Shedeur Sanders, but what I will say is he was impressive today in the last session, which was kind of this 11-on-11 hurry-up situation type stuff. Had two really, really nice throws. One to Deontay Johnson on a crosser, backed up 3rd and 12 with about 20 seconds left on the clock and one timeout. And then he followed it up the very next throw with a brilliant throw layered on a skinny post or a seam route rather, to Luke Floria, who's been his go-to target throughout camp.
What's going on? How everybody doing? I'm well. I'm back at practice today, so I'm thankful.
No one saw this coming. Not the fans, not the reporters, and definitely not the Browns coaches. For weeks, Shedeur Sanders had been quietly going through training camp. He wasn't getting many reps, his arm was a bit sore, and the Browns already had a crowded quarterback room. He was buried on the depth chart. Most people thought he'd just fade into the background, another rookie trying to find his place behind veterans like Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett. But then everything changed. One throw, one moment, and suddenly everyone was watching Shedeur.
There was. I thought it was Shedeur's best day, to be honest with you. Not only play of the day, but he was his usual 70% plus, 7 of 9. We got thrown a curveball. We thought Dylan Gabriel would be very limited, and he was hardly limited. I mean, he did participate in the 7-on-7s and a couple snaps even in 11-on-11.
Two.
Now Pickett only did 7-on-7, so that's why his numbers are lower.
This wasn't some casual throw in practice. It was 3rd and 17, high pressure, tight coverage, and Shedeur delivered. Now the big question is, was that throw just a lucky moment or the first glimpse of something bigger? And just when it seemed like the story ended there, one of Shedeur's former Colorado teammates made a move that could change the course of his entire football journey. This wasn't just a good day at training camp, it could be the beginning of something no one saw coming. Day 10 at Browns camp started like any other. Fans packed the stands, reporters lined the sidelines, and players cycled through drills. Everything felt normal, until Shedeur Sanders stepped back onto the field. That's when the energy shifted. He'd missed the day before with a sore arm or shoulder, not a major injury, but still enough to raise questions. In a camp full of proven quarterbacks and rising prospects, even one missed day can mean slipping down the ladder. So when Shedeur returned, no one expected much. Most figured he'd ease his way back in. But what happened next caught everyone off guard. He didn't just look healthy, he looked sharp, focused, confident. He looked like someone who had something to prove, and maybe just proved it. He moved with confidence, reading the defense, staying calm under pressure, and, most importantly, delivering precise, on-target throws. Slowly, the sideline chatter began. Heads turned. People started to pay attention to the guy wearing number 2. And then came the moment that confirmed what everyone was sensing. Tony Grossi, the reporter known for being brutally honest and not easily impressed, called it. Shedeur had made the play of the day. Shedeur faced a 3rd and 17 situation. A tough spot in any drill, especially during a field goal scenario meant to mimic real game pressure. With defenders closing in, he fired a strike down the middle to tight end Luke Floria, who was tightly covered. Somehow, the pass landed perfectly in stride. They converted the play and followed it with a successful field goal. But this wasn't just a good throw, it was a statement. For a young quarterback still fighting for recognition, the timing couldn't have been better. This wasn't just about completing a pass, it was about changing the conversation. In a high-pressure moment, with everything stacked against him, Shedeur delivered. The pocket was collapsing, the defense was closing in, and yet he stood tall and threw a perfect dart right into a tiny window. It was the kind of throw that makes people stop and reevaluate what they think they know about a player. The reaction was immediate. Fans reacted, coaches noticed, and Tony Grossi, who usually saves his praise for seasoned pros, took note. He didn't just say it was a nice play, he said it was the play of the day. That title doesn't get handed out often to rookies. Coming from Grossi, it meant something. He's not one to be swept up by hype. Did the moment affect you at all? No, of course not, Shedeur replied, but it's definitely something you keep in the back of your mind. I always hear my dad's voice. always. His motto, his energy, it's with me all the time. So yeah, I heard him in my head. But at the end of the day, I want to be productive. I want to give you guys my best. I want to be at my highest level at all times. But this wasn't about hype. It was about staying calm and delivering under pressure. For Shedeur Sanders, it wasn't just one highlight. It was a sign of what he could become if given a real chance. He was efficient. 7 completions on 9 throws. He stayed cool. His confidence was clearly growing. And even though that one play stood out, it might mean more than just a flashy clip for the practice reels. Let's be clear. Shedeur Sanders doesn't have a clear path forward. The Browns' quarterback room is crowded. Joe Flacco, a former Super Bowl MVP turned veteran backup, got most of the snaps and finished 9 for 12. Kenny Pickett is still dealing with a hamstring injury, but slowly making his way back. Then there's Dillon Gabriel, not flashy, but a solid, smart quarterback with upside the coaches like. So where does that leave Shedeur? Somewhere between being on the radar and just below it. I look at it this way, Shedeur said. I don't want him, his dad, coming to see me just yet. I want to reach where I'm going first. I don't want him here cheering for a few good reps like a proud dad. Not yet. I've got work to do. I've got a long way to go. I want everything I'm doing right now to be about time and focus. No distractions. We all know how the media twists things, especially when it's your dad, Coach Prime, showing up. That can easily take away from the team. It's a gift and a challenge.
2 amazing throws, maybe his 2 throws back-to-back, or 2 best throws back-to-back during camp, like consecutively. It was a really nice showing. And then you saw sort of the other side of it where Shedeur is learning, and they sort of reset it and did that same sort of setup, the hurry-up offense, only a limited time left on the clock.
Despite getting fewer reps, Shedeur's numbers stood out. 7 completions on 9 attempts, including the most talked about throw of the day. That's not just production. That's knowing how to handle pressure. That's stepping up when it counts. Those are the traits coaches can't teach and can't ignore. And with Pickett and Gabriel limited by injuries, Shedeur's window for meaningful reps is opening. If he keeps making moments like this, the coaching staff might have to start paying more attention. Because training camp isn't just about who throws the most passes. It's about who makes the biggest ones count. And Shedeur? He just made his first big one. But this isn't just a story about depth charts or position battles. There's something deeper behind Shedeur's drive, something shaped by doubt, by pressure, and by the legacy that follows him. Respect in the NFL isn't given, it's earned. And most players earn it over years, but Shedeur Sanders doesn't have years. He has right now. He's not an NFL quarterback, not right now, one radio voice said bluntly, and the fact that they keep running him out there with the first team, I get it. Kenny Pickett's injured, but still. This goes back to off-season programs. They've been putting him with the starters in 11 on 11 since then. It feels like they're forcing him into the picture, and it's not working. Coming out of college, Shedeur didn't receive the fanfare some top QBs get. Critics pointed at his mechanics. Some questioned his arm. Others said his fame had more to do with his last name than his skill. The doubts were loud, and they weren't just from fans or the media.
Then came the arm soreness in camp. One missed day, one moment of rest, and suddenly, people were wondering if he was too fragile. Was he ready for the pace of the pros, the pressure, the physicality, in a league where narratives move faster than players? Shedeur found himself boxed in, labeled, before he had a chance to prove anything. And that's what made day 10 so important. That one throw, that one moment wasn't just a pass, it was a response, a message, a reminder that he's not here to play a background role in someone else's story. He's here to write his own. It's not about height, it's not personal, another voice said on the radio. But he's missing open guys on rollout throws. He's shaky in warm-ups. He's decent in 7-on-7 drills, sure, but there's no O-line or D-line in those. He's not showing me that he's an NFL quarterback, and the Browns are forcing us to take a hard look at a third-round pick who shouldn't be anywhere near a starting role. While Shedeur Sanders was reshaping his story on the field, one of his closest allies was making moves of his own, in a different country, no less. While Sanders turned heads in Cleveland,
Another familiar name from Colorado was quietly gaining traction north of the border. You might remember him, Justin Mayers. 6'4" inches, 320 pounds of pure strength. He used to line up on the offensive line at Colorado, protecting Shedeur through a season packed with hype, pressure, and expectations. Now, he's taken a different path, signing with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the CFL. At first, it might seem like a step down, but look closer and the story changes. Mayers had his shot at the NFL. He joined the Denver Broncos during rookie minicamp earlier this year. His college resume was solid, all conference honors, more than 480 snaps in his final season, and just 2 sacks allowed. The talent was never in question. But the NFL can be unforgiving, especially for offensive linemen trying to earn a spot in crowded rooms. So, he made a choice. The path less traveled, the Canadian route. And it's one that many overlooked players take to prove they belong. In the CFL, Mayers won't be riding the bench. He'll get real playing time, real tape, and the chance to dominate. If he performs, an NFL return isn't just possible, it's probable. Just like Shedeur, Mayers is betting on himself, and he's not looking back.
Moments like these don't always seem big when they happen, but later, they can change everything. That 3rd and 17 throw from Shedeur might seem like just another training camp clip. But in a league where reps are limited and attention is scarce, one play can shift the entire narrative. Suddenly, he's not just Deion's son or a rookie with promise. He's the guy who stepped up when it mattered and got even the media to admit it. That's no small thing. Coaches don't always say it publicly, but moments like that can change depth charts. They lead to more reps. They put a player's name in the right conversations. And when other quarterbacks are injured or struggling, it's the guy who seizes his chance that often gets remembered. As for Justin Mayers, his journey proves something else. Success doesn't only happen within the NFL bubble. While others chase practice squad jobs, he's starting games, building tape, staying sharp. It's a longer road, yes, but maybe it's the one that lasts. The truth is, both Shedeur and Mayers are chasing respect, just in different ways. One with a single throw, the other with a leap of faith across borders. But if they keep stacking moments like these, they might just change the stories that were written for them. Very decays on the world. In the NFL season is create time of the mysteries are dark. Every NFL season has its breakout stars, but the ones we remember, they're almost always the underdogs, the overlooked, the ones no one expected, and the ones who simply refuse to be forgotten. Shedeur Sanders just stepped into that conversation. What started as a quiet return to camp became something more, a public turning point. That one throw might not lock down a roster spot or win him the starting job, but it did something more powerful. It changed the tone. The media noticed. Coaches saw something, and fans, they're starting to ask a new question. What if Shedeur is actually the real deal? And then there's Justin Mayers, miles away from NFL lights, grinding in another league, in another country, chasing the same dream. Different jersey, same hunger. Both are walking a fine line between being counted out and counted on. And while the headlines might fade in a day or two, the impact of what they did this week won't. Because every comeback, every breakout, every NFL success story starts the same way, with a moment no one saw coming and a player who refused to let it slip away. This chapter, it's just getting started.